For over 1,000 years, the world of Jujutsu Kaisen has been shaped by sorcerers so powerful that they became legends in their own lifetimes. Every era had its apex predator, a single figure whose strength dwarfed everyone else, whose presence alone could tilt the balance of power. From the terrifying reign of Ryuman Sukuna a millennium ago, to the modern dominance of Gojo Satoru, and now the mysterious rise of Yuji Itadori, history has always revolved around these unstoppable forces. But what truly makes someone the ultimate sorcerer? Is it raw power, unmatched technique, or something far more elusive? The ability to leave an indelible mark on time itself. As the world braces for threats that defy imagination, the line between human and monster blurs. Every duel, every spell, every domain expansion tells a story not just of combat, but of survival, legacy, and destiny. In this unbroken chain of power, only one truth remains certain. In every age, there will always be a figure at the pinnacle, untouchable, feared, and unforgettable. And now, a new chapter begins, where the next Titan steps into the shadows, and the world may never be the same again. Oh yeah, so we can keep interacting and making the anime storytelling world even more fun together. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and drop your thoughts in the comments to keep the vibe going. Alright guys, let's jump straight into the discussion. Let's go. When discussing the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, one thing that never fails to send chills down the spine is this simple truth. For more than 1,000 years, every era has produced its own unmatched monster of sorcerer. These figures were not merely strong, they defined strength in their time. No rival could truly compete with them, let alone defeat them. In their respective generations, they stood alone at the top, untouchable, like living disasters no one could challenge. This discussion focuses on the most dominant curse users across 3 major periods of history, from 1,000 years ago to 400 years ago, and finally the modern era. Each of them was a legend in their own time, and anyone foolish enough to challenge them usually met a tragic end long before realizing how massive the gap in power truly was. 1. Ryuman Sukuna, the king of curses 1,000 years ago. The first name needs no introduction. Ryuman Sukuna, the king of curses, was the embodiment of terror a millennium ago. In his era, Sukuna was absolute. No sorcerer could stand on the same level as him. Even his physical form defied human logic, for arms and 2 faces. This abnormal body gave him overwhelming advantages in combat, casting techniques, forming hand signs, and attacking relentlessly at the same time. His slashing abilities could cleave through virtually anything in his path, and his domain expansion was infamous for being one of the most broken and lethal domains in Jujutsu history. Anyone trapped inside was almost guaranteed to be reduced to unrecognizable pieces. Power ruled that era. The stronger someone was, the more they were worshipped. Yorozu herself was willing to sacrifice everything just for Sukuna's attention, a clear reflection of how terrifying and extraordinary his existence truly was. Yet even Sukuna could not escape time. Aware that his human body would eventually fail, he performed a ritual that split his soul into cursed fingers, ensuring his resurrection in the future. That decision is the reason he returns in the modern era through the body of Yuji Itadori. If we speak of the strongest being from 1,000 years ago, Sukuna stands alone, no debate necessary. 2. Kashimo Hajime, the supreme warrior 400 years ago. For centuries later, another ruler of the battlefield emerged, Kashimo Hajime. In his era, he reigned without equal. No opponent could offer him meaningful resistance. He sought out the strongest fighters, defeated every single one of them, and eventually fell into boredom and emptiness. The world had simply become too small for him. That despair led him to accept Kenjaku's offer, to bind his soul and reincarnate in the future, all for one purpose: to finally face Sukuna. In the modern age, Even in a new body, Kashimo's true power remained monstrous. His combat style was pure destruction, a creature of war with no hesitation or mercy. However, when he finally confronted Sukuna, the result was bitter. Their clash ended almost as soon as it began. The difference in their power was simply overwhelming. Still, when speaking of the era 400 years ago, Kashimo was undeniably the absolute ruler of that time. 3. Gojo Satoru, the king of sorcerers, modern era. And now we arrive at the present, the era of Gojo Satoru, widely regarded as the strongest sorcerer of the modern age. Gojo does not merely possess power. He redefines what power even means. With the combination of limitless and 6 eyes, Gojo exists on a completely different plane from all other sorcerers. Attacks cannot touch him. His techniques obliterate everything in their path, and his domain expansion alone can incapacitate any opponent the moment it is activated. Among all the enemies Sukuna has ever faced, Gojo stands as the most dangerous and the most oppressive. Their battle became one of the most monumental duels in the entire history of Jujutsu. When it comes to the modern era, Gojo Satoru stands alone at the summit. His superiority does not end with offense and defense. His domain expansion is arguably one of the most terrifying abilities ever conceived in Jujutsu. It overwhelms the opponent's mind with an infinite flood of information until their brain collapses under the strain. The body is not merely paralyzed. The mind itself is destroyed from within. What makes it even more absurd is Gojo's efficiency with cursed energy. Thanks to 6 eyes, he controls cursed energy with near-perfect precision, wasting almost none of it. Where ordinary sorcerers may manage a domain expansion once every few days, Gojo can activate his multiple times in a single day, 3 for even more, without suffering meaningful exhaustion. That is not just talent. That is the definition of an anomaly. This overwhelming power turned Gojo into the central pillar of the modern Jujutsu world. As long as he existed, the world remained relatively stable. High-level curses rarely surfaced, and even the elders of Jujutsu society dared not act recklessly. They understood one simple fact. The moment Gojo decided to move, every political scheme and power struggle would collapse instantly. Only after Gojo was sealed did those same elders begin revealing their true ambitions, doing everything they could to ensure he would never return. From this alone, the truth becomes obvious. Gojo Satoru was the undisputed strongest of his era. As for the outcome of the legendary duel between Gojo and Sukuna, that battle has already carved its own place in history as the most brutal conflict the Jujutsu world has ever witnessed. But that is another story entirely. What matters here is this. Gojo Satoru was not merely powerful. He was the living embodiment of power itself. Now the world steps into the next chapter, the era after Gojo and Sukuna. A future age where the entire balance of power has shifted. Sukuna has fallen, Gojo is gone, and the world's remaining hope converges around a single name, Yuji Itadori. Created through Kenjaku's long and twisted schemes as a vessel of curses, Yuji possesses something no ordinary human does, an immortal body. He does not age like others. On top of that, he inherited fragments of Sukuna's power and battle instincts, refining them through relentless training. Physically alone, Yuji already exists at a monstrous level. His raw strength surpasses anything human. In athletic terms, he could dominate the Olympics without breaking a sweat. In real combat, his punches trigger Black Flash repeatedly. While most sorcerers might achieve Black Flash once every 10 strikes, Yuji can unleash it with near-constant consistency. 3 hits, 2 Black Flashes, 10 strikes, 8 Black Flashes. Such reliability makes him a phenomenon almost unheard of in Jujutsu history. And that is only the beginning. Yuji now wields advanced blood manipulation techniques, granting him even more versatility and lethality on the battlefield. In this new era, Yuji is not simply the strongest fighter. He is the foundation of humanity's hope. The world is preparing for a far greater threat, an extraterrestrial race known as the Sumerian. And standing on the front line of that coming war is Yuji Itadori, the symbol of the next generation's power. Beyond physical dominance and black flash mastery, Yuji has inherited and evolved a vast arsenal of deadly techniques. His slashing attacks can even damage the opponent's soul, a rare and terrifying ability in the Jujutsu world. He can deploy domain expansion, heal himself using reverse curse technique, and adapt to almost any combat situation. In short, Yuji is the complete package: destruction, durability, technique, and limitless potential. It is no surprise that after Gojo Satoru's era ended, Yuji immediately rose to the top as the strongest of his generation. Following the collapse of Sukuna and the conclusion of countless devastating conflicts, the Jujutsu world entered a relatively peaceful age. Because of that peace, many younger sorcerers did not evolve as rapidly as Warforged veterans like Maki, Yuta, and their peers who grew within relentless battlefields. That is precisely why Yuji, the remnant of the age of chaos and the man who ended Sukuna, stands so far above the rest in the future. Today, the world once again waits for one name: Yuji Itadori. The elders and leaders of Jujutsu society anticipate his return to confront the next global threat, the alien invasion now targeting Earth. Yet Yuji remains distant from the battlefield. He has chosen isolation. He no longer seeks war. He no longer wishes to fight. The emotional burden he carries is unbearable. He has watched everyone he loves grow old and die, while he himself remains unchanged, ageless, trapped in a long and silent loneliness. Even now, the story has not fully revealed the depth of Yuji's power. No one knows how far he has evolved since defeating Sukuna. But one truth is certain. With endless years, accumulating battle experience, and ceaseless training, Yuji has almost certainly reached a level of strength far beyond anything we have witnessed before. It is entirely possible that the Yuji of the future will surpass both Gojo Satoru and even Raiman Sukuna. So, I think the final conclusion is, from Sukuna in the distant past, to Gojo in the modern age, and now Yuji in the future, the world of Jujutsu Kaisen proves one constant law of history. Every era gives birth to a single absolute existence, a figure who becomes both the axis of balance and the greatest threat alive. They are not merely powerful. They define their generation. They reshape history, and they leave behind a standard of strength that borders on the impossible. In the end, it is not about who is the most violent, but about who can remain standing at the summit when the entire world lives beneath the shadow of their power. Thank you so much for sticking with the story till the end. If you have any questions, feel free to write them down in the comments section below. Thanks again for watching, and see you in the next one.